Let's go to the Madlaga Commission of Inquiry where Tumelo, is it Tumelo or Tumi? Tumelo Nku is back on the stand. On Friday, we were left hanging because allegedly, or at least there was a request that came from Mr. Nku, who wanted to have a private conversation with the evidence leaders. So we thought, okay, cool. We are going to wait that hour because an hour was requested. So came 10:30. Well, there was no Mr. Nku. 11, no Mr. Nku. 1 p.m. lunchtime, still no Mr. Nku. After lunch, no Mr. Nku. So, of course, it's Friday. What do? You go and run some errands because clearly, what are they going to be coming back for? Let's see them on Monday. Came Monday today, and Mr. Nku is back, and I was salivating what I was hearing because he came, or at least the evidence leader. I forget. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, guys. Please forgive me. You know I'm terrible with names and surnames, right? So I apologize. So the evidence leader hands over to evidence leader Sigel Ncube. Because he says he doesn't want to have any kind of conflict of interest when he is cross-examining Nku at a later stage. So he's going to give this part of what transpired on Friday to Sigel Ncube, senior counsel. And so now, like, okay, what's happening? So it turns out that Mr. Nku wanted to tell the truth. So basically, without beating about the bushes, he wanted to tell the truth. Basically, what he was saying is, I would like to go back and retract many things that I said that were untruthful in my previous testimony. So before it becomes perjury or it becomes a consequence at a later stage, so he wants to start on a clean slate. And then we noted that his legal representative, Mr. Duplessis, was nowhere to be seen. And so Mr. Madlanga asked Mr. Nku, so where's your legal representation? And he was like, basically, I fired him. Yeah, I fired him. So there is no formal withdrawal of the lawyer. Maybe he didn't fire him, but things that is happening right now, to me, looks like he fired him. So then I thought, okay, let's begin with the truth, because the truth shall set you free. Turns out that Mr. Nku has a spiritual leader, and the spiritual leader and him had a sit down prior to Friday. And basically, the spiritual leader says, no matter what happens, the truth will come out at the end. So you might as well just tell the truth. I agree with that. 100%. So we were under the impression that that is exactly what he's going to do. Sing like a canary. He's going to drop names that some people feel very scared to drop. We thought he was going to give detail. He was going to give events. He was going to give money trails. He was going to even lead us all the way to the cartel. Oh, he did, by the way. 2 different cartels. So now the story begins this way. Mr. Nku, around 2014, 2015-ish, his distant cousin and member of parliament by the name of Mapatswe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. You know my problem. And in my head, I'm like, why does this name sound familiar? At first, I thought Kosatu. Like, you know, those secretaries of Kosatu. And I was like, nah, I'm thinking of Mapaile or something like that. Then I was like, is it a premier? It could be a premier. The premier of Northwest. I'm debating with myself because of this name, but at the same time, I'm listening to what's going on. So there was an introduction between himself and a Mr. I'm going to forget name. So the characters in this is a VJ. It's a Mapatswe, an Abby or IB boss, as is known. And I'm forgetting the 4th character. So IB and Nku were introduced by Mapatswe around 2014, 2015. because he has some kind of business that he would like to involve Nku in. I did say that, guys, in the cartel, you do need intelligent people, especially people that are techno savvy. Let me put it this way: techno savvy. You also need lawyers who are pretty good at law. You need, well, you even need judges, magistrates, prosecutors, and things of that nature, so that you are protected from capture and prosecution and conviction. So allegedly, from what I was listening to Nku, it sounds as though Mr. Mapato is in some very interesting businesses. And in this business or businesses, he's got a rival. So Mapatwi seems to have a business and he has a rival. And that rival needs to be Gudluzad, like Dudula. Like either arrested and then he will never have to deal with him again. So there was a consignment of drugs that was coming from Durban. And so the Mapatwa side, allegedly, guys, allegedly, wanted that consignment to be busted by the police. They didn't want to steal the consignment because the consignment already had its owner. And I think the owner is VJ. If it's not VJ, it is Abby Boss. So they needed to be removed through a drug bust, because a drug bust, of course, it will involve police. And hence, at that Arrington, you had these two groups of police there. 10,111, who made an arrest on, including Kunku and Mashaba and the rest type of situation, because they thought they busted a real drug bust, and police, they were being corrupt, trying to steal the consignment. And because Nku says that's how it was supposed to look like. It was supposed to look exactly like that. Not that it was going to be drugs. Not that there were going to be drugs that will be stolen from the depot type of situation. I was like, okay, that sounds plausible. I accept so far what he's saying. Then I realized, as part 2 of his testimony, that this is a strategy this guy came with. Because tell me why we are debating Philip Plain, when Philip Plain clearly is Mr. Nku. I think those WhatsApp messages that are being discussed, they are too damning for him to accept that he is Philip Plain. I mean, this is probably conversations that would actually put him away forever. But before we get to Philip Plain, and he also needs to stick to that line that he told, that it's not easy to penetrate a cartel. It's not easy to penetrate a cartel. You really have to be somebody that is seasoned and has grown in this business along with everybody, because everybody trusts everybody. But there was this one person that would send meeting or resolutions of meetings that the cartel will have to Mr. Nku. I personally think he was sent these resolutions not as to like somebody spying on the cartel. It's like a spokesperson of some sort of a company, for example. Some do sit inside meetings, take minutes and the resolutions so that they can tell the public what was decided. In some spokespeople will get debriefed either by the scriber of the meeting or the chairperson or the secretary, whatever the case might be. And so I think somebody on the inside, because they don't allow anybody that, whether they trust the person or they don't trust, but still has not proven themselves to the cartel that he deserves a seat inside the plenary, as he calls it, then he will have to be debriefed outside by being sent the screenshots of conversations and things like that. Then I was like, aha, now I see your angle. Your strategy was that I am going to walk into that commission of inquiry on Friday and strike a deal. I will say that I am willing to tell the truth. I am willing to give myself up and tell y'all that I lied in my previous testimony and that I have a spiritual guru, to add some oomph into what he is saying, because a lot of people got carried away. Oh, a lot of people, myself included. But when you start talking, Mina, I have the tendency of peeling the layers of the onion, because all I know at the end of the onion, we're going to find a tulip. I don't like tulips. So, anyways, he that was a strategy that he is going to play the minds, psychological minds of the commission of inquiry, evidence leaders, the commissioners, South Africans, and not that he was going to rattle any furthers. I don't think. I think this is a planned thing by the cartel and whoever advises the cartel. Remember, I told you that all sorts of experts the cartel must have in their, I guess, strings, so that they come up with these strategies, the best strategy to mislead and get the spotlight away from the cartel type of situation. So that's when the name Philip, because the name Philip Plain, I think the conversation as we are going to start hearing them after tea break, they are damning to him. So he wants to distance himself from this name Philip Plain. Yeah, there were names such as John Wick. I still don't know what on earth that is about. So it's a lot, guys. Yo, kwaze kwaningi sibancane. I think the cartel is also sending a very strong message that all of this that we are doing is just a game. And South Africa has 600 million rand for a day to overma South Africans, but they don't have 600 million rand to keep the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. You gotta ask yourself why. So I think I kind of like believe the message of the cartel, even though they are not saying it outright like that we are playing games. We're playing games. And Mr. Nku needs to be stood down, and then findings about him be made by the Commission of Inquiry. He's not here to tell the truth. He's not here to assist. He's here to waste the time and also convey the message to South Africans, the Commission of Inquiry, the president, or maybe not the president, because that we're wasting our time. We're wasting our time. And it's disheartening to think that. But at least this is how I see it. I'm not saying that's what's happening. That's how I am seeing it. Nku needs to be stood down and findings be made on him because it's wasting time. And then we get the next witness. And I think the next witness was supposed to be Mr. General Khan, whom we wake up this morning, we hear that he been shoot. Huh? You had to. I'm not invalidating what happened to him. I'm not invalidating. I mean, if you play with dogs and you sleep in the same bed as them, you're definitely gonna wake up with fleas and ticks. So, but I have that but. Okay. Anyways, once again, this is to buy time for the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry to wrap up, and the so-called not having money anymore for the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. It's all strategy. It is all strategy. You get 600 million rand, but you can't get at least 300 million rand for the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and extend its time. Why? Because Joburg studio was touched. Hey guys, they are probably back. Let me wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for listening. The strategy has been revealed. It's to waste time. And to tell us, y'all are wasting time and money, by the way. We ain't going nowhere. They reminding me of the Nigerians. We're not going nowhere. And we only have one more sleepy, what they call it? One more night. And then it's the 30th of, or one more sleep. That's how it's called. We have one more sleep and it's the 30th of June. Anyways, fellow South Africans, let's continue with Nku. Hopefully they will have made a decision to stand him down. Goodbye.